News at Prime. Let's bring you this discussion now. The families of 3 police officers whose bodies were found in the Hennops River in Centurion last year have received a report on their deaths. National Police Commissioner Fannie Masemola visited the families earlier this week to update them on the investigation. Let's talk now to Constable Cebekhulu Linda's uncle, Sipho Linda. Mr. Linda, good evening to you. Thank you very much for making time for us. It was a very difficult time for all 3 families when we watched visuals of you being taken to the scene of this accident. And now a report has been delivered to you as the families. What did it say?
Good evening, Collie. Collie, unfortunately, there was no report. Let me just take you through what happened, what transpired yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yes, I think it was yesterday or the day before yesterday. The police came, they called us to the provincial office, and they were supposed to give us a report. When we arrived there, General Lekalakala started giving, telling us what is going to happen and telling us their findings. I then said to Hennops Masemola, this is a little bit not unfair that they are not giving us a documented report or something in black and white about what happened. They were just telling us, and I then said to them, but it's if you tell us what happened and tomorrow we want to question those things, you might end up saying, no, we didn't say this, or when we said this, we meant that. So can we please have something documented, something on paper, something black and white to say, these are our findings and this is what happened, so that tomorrow, if we want to litigate or question anything, we have documents to that effect. Yeah. But having said that, Ntate Kalakala went on to explain to us about their findings. They brought experts from various fields, forensic report, accident, these experts, let me just get the correct, they said that they were bringing an expert on the maintenance of the river. Yes. And then they said they were bringing an expert on investigation of the crime scene. And then they were bringing an internal expert on the accident combating. Now, when they tried to explain to us what happened, it raised more questions because we started asking them about things they could not answer. And then I said to them, we said to the police, is this the report that you are giving us? And they said, no, it's not complete. It's a preliminary report. And then we said, but even this preliminary report is not talking to the questions that we have. And they said, no, well, they are going to have more investigations. They come back to us. Yeah. We were taken aback yesterday when when we heard on the news that the kids were doing 173 kilometers per hour, and the cause of accident of their death is accident. Because I had specifically told Ntate Masemola, we are not accepting this until our questions are answered. Yeah. So what are some of these questions, as you say, the police officers or the police management could not answer when you were questioning them now based on this preliminary report that they said they were presenting to you? Well, number one, we dismissed the myth that the children were driving at high speed. I pointed out, because I was happy they brought experts. I said to the experts, they have footage of the kids leaving Bloemfontein at 10:30 from Bloemfontein to Joburg. And at 1 hour 41 minutes, that's in the AMs, in the mornings, they were at Grasmere. It gives you 3 hours, 10 minutes, from the garage at Heidedal. That's 360 kilometers. 3 hours, 10 minutes, 360 kilometers, it gives you an average of 120 kilometers per hour. Then they left Grasmere. Let's say they left Grasmere to the scene of accident, it took them 40 minutes. And that distance is about 60 kilometers. Now, if you look closely at the speed they were doing, averagely 120. And this time for 60 kilometers, they take 40 minutes. I then pointed out to them, there is a gap of 10 minutes that is missing. They must have stopped after Grasmere, or something must have happened. I'm not a policeman, but I mean, I'm just applying my mind. There's a gap of 10 minutes in their pattern of driving. Now, we were shown a video of a car that was traveling very fast. I questioned whether that car is the same car they were using.
Yeah.
You cannot tell that that's the same car. But let's assume it was the same car. My next question was, what made them travel now, change from 120, average to 130, to drive at 173? Something must have happened between Grasmere and the scene of accident. Another thing that I asked was, funny, all along we've been told the cameras were not working. All the cameras did not pick them up.
Yeah.
But now there's a report that this camera picked them up, that camera picked them up. Why only now? I then asked the expert there, because when they showed us that video of the car that was traveling at 173, which they say skidded, and it faced the oncoming traffic. My first question was, funny that the car was facing the oncoming traffic and nobody was involved in an accident. Nobody reported that. Now, the reason they are saying the car skidded and it faced the oncoming traffic is because we are questioning why was the car damaged on the right-hand side when it was going up north? I mean, and the river is on the left-hand side.
Yeah.
You know, and then they said, no, the car hit barricades. Look, Polly, I was at the scene of the accident. Before you get to the barricades, there's a concrete wall, which is about 30, 40 meters long. There is barricades which are about 70 meters. Now, they say the car reduced the speed from 173 to 112 when it hits the barricades. I'm not an expert, but logic says if the car hits barricades at 112, the car will stall at some point. Let's say it stalled at about 50 meters from the barricades, and it overturned or it went over the barricades into that side of the river.
Yeah.
Now, I'm saying where the car supposedly landed in the river, there's a distance of about 80 to 100 meters.
Yeah.
If the car landed there, what then took the car from that, from where it landed into the river?
Okay.
You know, those are questions that we have, and those are questions they could not answer. Besides, Polly, there was a lot of information that we had given over to the police when the children died. We wanted answers to know, have you investigated the information that we gave to you? No. The only thing that they did forensic tests on the car, and we didn't even get the pathology report. 9 months after the death of those kids, we don't have a pathology report, not even a preliminary pathology report.
Wow.
I then asked nicely, please, can you please refrain from saying the cause of death is accident? What if the pathology report comes back and say something else? How are you going to deal with that? What are you going to say to us and to the South Africans out there?
Yeah. Let's wrap this up, Mr. Linda, because based on what you've said, most of it very technical, and I wonder what your profession is, because you seem to be very knowledgeable here. I just want to ask a very simple question of you. Do you feel, as the Linda family, that police authorities are hiding something here?
Polly, if I have to be honest with you, at first, I gave the police, credit and said they are doing their job and what, but the delay in giving us the report, the delay in giving us the forensic report, the pathology report, the delay in assuming that this was an accident before they can complete the investigations, it makes us have some mistrust on the whole, the whole thing. Why it's like there's a cover up, or this must be one of the cold cases we investigated. These are our findings. You cannot challenge them. That's it. Even if we lead the police or we ask police questions that we have, they are not being followed up. So to answer you, I am not happy, and I'm not sure the police are doing their outer best to get to the bottom of this.
Mr. Linda, I appreciate your time. Sipho Linda is the uncle to the late police constable Cebekhulu Linda. And just a note that clearly this is a matter that does require a police response. If anyone from the police are watching, you are welcome to get in touch with us and talk to us to give us your side of the story. But as things stand, at least one family is very dissatisfied this evening.